Hi everyone, and welcome back to another topic. And this topic says, how do we feel about friends who leave with you to go anywhere, see someone at the event or place, and leave you? So, this is actually something that we had a conversation about. And for me, how do I feel about it? I just feel like if you are going someplace with someone, when you get to that place, you should stay with the person and leave with the person. I don't mind if you say, all right, hey, um, let's say you see another person that you know or another friend that you know. I don't mind if you say, look, I coming back there now. I gotta show them there and come back now. And you gonna shout them and then you come back afterwards. But don't tell me that you can go and shout somebody and then don't turn up and then stand the whole night with them and turn back up at the end of the night. That's gonna be a problem for me. I gonna gotta look at you different, because just I don't know. It's like an unspoken friendship rule, like or even not even an unspoken friendship rule, but just a rule, unspoken rule, just in general. Like even when we used to go out with my dad back in the day, I remember me and my brother used to go out with my father at cavalcades and stuff, and I remember
I was too young by the way.
yeah, and he would always say like there were just some rules that were obvious. When I ready, be ready. That what he would say, right? Or you know, you wanna come with me, wanna stick in with me, type things like that. So I guess I just grew up with that type of mentality that if I go somewhere, if I call somebody phone or somebody call me and say, hey, let me go here, 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 or you meeting up with somebody, so I can meet you here, here, here. Like you are with that person. You're not there to go on, ditch the person, so to speak. I remember one year me and Tony went on crop over. I had a friend, it was back in the day, and me and I spoke to this friend, so they said, let's meet up or whatever, and I was like, sure. And we decided to meet up in Eagle Hall. And then we were watching the bands. The friend come back, and the friend was like, oh, I can come back there just now. Let me tell you, me and Tony ended up spending like about almost 2 to 3 hours because we didn't go down Spring Garden or nothing. We just stayed by Eagle Hall to watch the bands, and we ended up staying like 2 to 3 hours, and then we ended up. I told Tony, look, let me just go back home because this person ain't coming back, right? And yeah, that from that moment on, I'm the type of person that I cut off pretty fast, and from that moment on, the friendship dwindled down until it was not a friendship anymore. Because there's just some things to me that you just don't do.
I remember too, because I would have had situations like this time and time again. Not with the same person, but different circumstances. But I remembered one time we had there was a 50th anniversary Independence concert back home, and me and Shanita and this friend, um, and her other friend, we all decided to go together. And long and short of the story is the friend that came with me ditched me to go with the other friend. And to be honest, like, yes, I enjoyed the show because I'm with my sister, right? But if I wasn't with Shanita, then I would have been ditched. And it's not a good feeling, and it wasn't cool. And I couldn't even find her at the end of the show. And we were looking backward and forward, forward and backward.
We had to leave
We had
without
to end
her.
up leaving. And the thing about it is she ended up finding back. She found back my home and everything, and then gonna say, "Oh, sorry about that."
Because she had actually parked at our house,
Right.
and we all went together. I can't remember who it was that took us there. I don't remember which car we went in. But the point is, we went together, and we ended up having to stay for a good while, looking for her, calling her, whatever. Can't get through to her at all. Like we didn't just leave. Like we, waited for a while. We
Well,
were
yeah.
calling. We were
We were
looking.
literally concerned because we couldn't find her. I circled the entire venue. I did not see her.
Mm.
So I
And then we
mean,
ended up having to leave, and then like probably what, a half an hour or something
yeah.
afterwards, she showed back up, and with her. very nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
And it's very important, as Tony said, because it just leaves you there hanging.
Right.
And especially when a person comes with you, like as in like a vehicle, like whether you are driving their vehicle or they're driving or you're driving your vehicle, um, uh, you have to leave two together. Cause if you're this is how I just view it. If you're my ride, I sticking with my
I'm
ride.
telling you.
I ain't going all about the place. If I see a friend, I could go and shout you for 5 minutes, or I could go and shout somebody else, whatever. But I coming right back to you because you's my right. I gotta make sure you get home good.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So it's also like that. You could think about it like that as well. But there's no way that you is somebody right or whatever, or somebody's whatever, and then you gone the whole time. And even if you show up at the end of the show and you somebody right, like for me, I would still feel insulted because it's like we. So then it's just a right for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I bring you there to the show. By the way, sorry guys for my voice. My voice is kind of going a bit. I'm a teacher, and
Have to talk non-stop.
yeah. So that was just a by the way. I have kindergarten kids, so you know. So my voice kind of have been messed up in a way, but yeah. What was I saying?
Something.
They come with they come with you. As soon as the event start, the minute of on a good hour, as soon as the thing start, they see a friend, then go along with their friend.
Yeah.
Spend the whole time with a friend and come back with you when the show done. Well, you was just a ride. You could always be a taxi. You know what I mean? Because it don't make any sense. So
Yeah, and even like how Shanita ditch, not ditch, but the friendship dwindle. I still talk to the person, but she can't ask me to go anywhere. The answer will always be no. Because at the end of the day, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And you ain't gonna fool me all the rest of my life. So my answer is always no. Will always be no, and will stay no.
and you
So
you
yeah,
need you need a friend that is a true friend. You don't
yeah,
want somebody there especially when it's you and the person. You know, if it's a crowd, they might stick around, or if it's a crowd and they leave, you might feel better because you still know other people in the crowd. But when it's just you and that person,
right.
and that person up and leave, that's total disrespect. Because
Yeah,
now you by yourself just in that space, anything could happen. Somebody could come and attack you. Somebody could, anything could happen, and you have nobody. Not saying that you going somewhere to get into something with anybody, but I'm saying at least you have your friend there as a defense as well. You know.
even going out with my sister. Whenever me and my sister go out, we always stick together. I might see people that I know. She don't really know much people, but I might see people that I know. I may go and shout them, and I am right back because not only is she my sister, but that's the person I went out with. I can't ditch my sister because I got other friends there or whatever. And my sister, I say, but she's a loser, so she and his is don't agree. I tell people my sister is my friend, my sister is my bestie because she's always there with me wherever, whenever we go out, we are always together. Nobody can say, well, I see Shanita and not Tony. They have to say they see both of us. There are certain things that I may not go to that she may want to go to it, and I may go to it because it's with her. But other than that, on a regular day, would not go. But yeah, sometimes you gotta have that one person that you could actually trust. Like I have other people back home that I could trust and go out with as well. But like living out here in Canada, the only body that I really trust going out big events is my sister because I know for sure she has my back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and throughout the years, I've had my friends. Mostly we from like whenever we go out, we going home here because I've had different friendships, and as the saying goes, but it leaves branches and roots. People drop off by the wayside. That's just
Right.
how things are. Whether they move out the country or whether they, or whether things happen and you just lose that friendship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the years, as I've had friendships and I've gone places with people, we always stick together except for that one situation. Even with that one situation before, we used to stick together, like when we go out and stuff. But I just see it as a very important thing because it's not only about, you're there with the person as a safety mechanism and stuff like that, but it's also a respect situation because, like, how are you gonna go somewhere somebody and then end up with somebody else? Like it's
Yeah.
just disrespectful.
That's not cool.
Yeah, and it's almost like saying my company is not great because you
Great.
gotta go out with
Correct.
somebody, you gotta go to somebody else. Like I may not, and are you not enjoying your time with me? Then we gotta really rethink our friendship on the whole because
Correct.
if you're not enjoying your time out with me, then why are we friends? You know.
And that
So.
notion, to say that, that reminded me of a time that I had a friend that wanted. She was telling me, she wants me to go with her for some ice cream. That we just go for ice cream, chill or whatever. And I decided, yeah, we will go or whatever. And I went there, me and her talking, and then all of a sudden her friend with her child and the boyfriend showed up, and literally I felt like the third wheel because the boyfriend was with the child, playing with the child, and she's talking to her friend, and I'm just here like lost because why would you do that? You went out with me. How you could bring, and I mean this friend stayed till the time, from the time that she got there to the time that we were ready to leave. She was the girl's friend was there, and it was just like, so you basically used me for a ride to get up there, thinking that we were spending time together or whatever. No, her friend came and they talked, and from the time the friend was ready to leave, my girl said, "All right, Tony, you ready?"
Mhm.
So
And
yeah,
even in a case like that, even in a case like that, I almost threw on me one
be
saliva.
careful, be
Anyway,
careful.
even in a case like that, as I was saying, this whole situation could have been different if she had just included you into the conversation.
Exactly.
So it's not that, yeah, my friend came and you can't have a conversation with your friend, but what she should have done is introduce you to the friend,
But she did.
right? And then as they were having conversations, she could include you in the conversations because you might feel awkward because you don't know the person, and the person might feel awkward because they don't know you. But her being a middle person should have just kind of like somehow intertwined the conversations so that both people wouldn't feel left out.
But the problem was, so she never said that the friend was coming, and
Mm-hmm.
and thing, because what could have happened was, if I felt really awkward and I was like my sister here, I would have just up and leave.
That would be me on the real.
I would have
No,
just up and leave.
no
No
hesitations.
hesitations because.
If I, especially if I'm the one that drove, because
Mhm.
if I was the one that drove, I'm just there, and you're not talking to me. We were talking good, and then from the time this friend turned out, all of a sudden, no, you're not talking to me anymore, and I just there like, like a tree stump, not saying nothing, not doing nothing. I would have been like, okay, you guys can have your time, and I'm about to leave. Something came up, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I wasn't gonna sit down there and listen to her conversation with the whole friend until the time was up to go. Nope, never. That could have never be me. But yeah, but that's just how I feel about it. And then another thing too that I find is very disrespectful is where you are going out with a person and then your that person is on their phone the
Yes.
whole time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Again, that's another way of saying I don't enjoy my time with you. The time with you is boring, it's not interesting. So let me just type like text away. I cannot stand that. I think it's very disrespectful. Even when I used to be dating, and there were some people I dated that were not interesting, but I would not take out my phone and be like, oh, let me go ahead and text my life away. If the person is not interested, you will not go out with them again.
Right.
But if you have a friend, it means the friend must have been interesting because you build time, you build friendship. So you take time to get to know the person, their likes, dislikes, whatever. It's a relationship, and then you start going out together, right, as friends. So you must be, had some type of something in common to be at the stage of going out with the person, right? So when you're gonna take up your phone and just text, 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 that just tells me that you really don't want to be there.
And I have experienced that not with a friend now, but with the guy that I used to talk to. One time I went out with him and he's on the phone from the time I started to eat to the time I finished belch. Right? Because like I felt like he just ain't interested. But then after a while, when we were going home, now he could find himself all under me. Right?
Yeah.
And
I don't know,
the
man.
thing, be careful, my
I
sister.
good.
But the thing is, like, tell me why when we sitting down we should be talking. But no, you put the phone, and then when it's time to leave, no, you wanna be all cuddly cuddly. No, I ain't tolerating it because you don't want to talk to me. It's clear. It's clear that you had one thing on your mind and one thing only.
And that is another get up and go moment. That is another get up and go moment. Because when you're sitting down with somebody and you're going to pull out your phone and start texting, that tells me you don't want to be there. And if you don't want to be there, I don't want to be there. So that's another get up and go. I think we need to adopt a mentality of not taking disrespect from anybody.
True.
And I heard one time I was listening to somebody on Facebook, another Bajan living back home, and she said something that I found to be so true. But this is off topic, so to speak. But what she said was, people would come to her and say make little comments, little disrespectful comments that they might see as a joke, but she might see it as an insult, and she would usually not want to say anything because she's still trying to spare the person's feelings. You know, um, so let's say for example somebody might say, yo, you, I mean, we know bitches. Bitches is tell a joke, you know, bitches like to insult you as a joke type
Right.
thing, right? And that's our culture in a way. But at the same time, like, everybody don't take these things as a joke. You gotta know who you're with. You gotta read the room. And she would say, like, some people come and say, you get real fat, yeah, you this or you that, and she would feel offended by it, but then she would not say anything about it, or change the topic or whatever, because she's trying to spare their feelings. And what she said was, you know what, I am done with that. Anybody that come to me and make a rude comment, they're gonna get a rude comment back, because I find people are so quick to say things that are hurtful or do things that are hurtful, but are so entitled that they don't want that same treatment back to them. So when you gotta do it back to them, you just hear, wait, but you gotta get so, why this, why the next return, but you're not checking how you're making the other person feel.
Exactly.
And I think we need to start standing up for ourselves. And when a situation happens that make you uncomfortable, that make you feel disrespectful, you need to say, all right, this ain't good enough. So, for example, like you said, instead of sitting down there the entire time on your ice cream adventure, right, with the person, instead of sitting down right through it, because you were the one that drove, right?
I caught the bus.
Okay, well, you even better. You caught the bus. So, what I would have done is said, you know what? I gotta go. And there's some people that might have even told them to their face, like, I come out here with you, you got your friend, and you just left me stranded, you know? But even if you don't feel like saying all that, you might want to say a little later when she's solved or whatever, if you don't want to be so forward. But but what you could say is like, you know what, I gotta go. Like, time for me to go. You don't have to sit down and what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to sit down and endure
the disrespect
and discomfort, because that's what it comes down to. You
Mhm.
feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's just how I feel. Like, we have to stand up for ourselves, and when things aren't working out, if we feel people are disrespecting us, we gotta get up and go. Let them know what we think or whatever, even if you tell them at a different time or whatever, and then you move on or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, right? Please let us please let us know what you think about our topic today. Let us know how you feel, what what would you have done in some of these situations that we would have talked about and whatever. And
And what are your boundaries?
and
Like,
what are your boundaries? Yeah.
like, what would you not take, or what would you see as something that is disrespectful enough for you to leave and go or whatever. Yeah.
There we go. Scully over here. Anyways, so please continue to like,
share,
and subscribe. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.